necessarily reflect those of ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
Welcome to the Green Hour, WURD at 96.1 FM and also 900 AM on the weekend, sponsored by Celia. I'm your host, Dr. Paul Hopkins. We're here every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. You can also find us online at www.wurdradio.com and in the community. My whole co-host is health advocate Bill 1L Morgan. You there, Bill?
Yo, buddy, right here, man.
All right, each week, we bring clarity to the conversation about health and environment. We encourage clean living from the inside out. Centerpiece of this is maintaining a healthy lifestyle and getting informed about the connection between good health and what is happening in the world around you. It includes what you consume, what you wear, what products you use on your body, how you clean your home, what you drive, what you purchase, and the decisions you make every day. On the Green Hour, we will focus on the environment as is a key part of our social integrity. On the Green Hour, we will focus on how the people and the planet are one. Without further ado, welcome, family. Mike Moore. Big Mike, you there, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up? What's up?
All right.
I can hear him today. Go ahead,
I can hear him today. Wow.
Good to hear you. Good to see y'all.
Yeah. And Big B, how are you today, man? How you doing there?
Doing well. We had a little rain last night.
Yeah, it's still raining over here, man.
Oh, is it really?
Last night, it's still raining here. Yeah.
We still look.
It's
We got a little
kind
bit
of
of a blue
gloomy out
sky.
here today.
We even got some blue sky over here, man.
Oh, wow, man. You know, I guess that's coming our way then. How about that?
Gotta be. So I'm not gonna complain.
So much going on in the world, y'all. Let's go.
Boy.
We're going to go straight in today because you know how time evades us. It
Sure
moves
does.
real fast. You know, I thought about some of the things that are going on in the world. You know, Mike Moore, we lost DMX, man.
Oh,
Another great
don't
one,
do it, man.
We lost the DMX.
I'm just getting over tears, man.
Oh, man, another one, man.
That's
you
my
know,
childhood right there. That's my
Yeah,
childhood.
yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
Everybody knows the DMX song. Was it Party Up or the Rough Riders or something, man? I remember every cut, DMX coming there with the, and he come in, man.
Had a
It's
whole
Literally
like,
new
word
style
for
to it,
word,
man.
every song, every album, even every movie,
Yeah,
man.
I
yeah.
know, man. He came with the intensity, man. And I love the fact that, he was really getting closer and closer in a spiritual lifestyle. He had a prayer, man. And
Right.
maybe we could
Yep.
play that at the end before we leave, man. He had a powerful prayer, man, that he said, he was finding himself along the way, sort of like he was an image of coming out of the ghetto, dealing with the ghetto streets,
Yeah.
dealing with
Yeah.
life, dealing with family struggles and, mother and father, no, father not being there, mother, abusive and all that. And then people started focused on that. But you know what? He pulled out of that, man. And I
Yeah.
think we need to celebrate this brother in so many ways for how much he affected people. Because, even though, Mike, somebody said something real powerful, they said with all the stuff that was going on in his life, man, he never talked about drugs in his songs,
That's
which
true.
was powerful, man. So rest in peace, DMX, man. We're going to forever remember his music. Moving forward, Big B,
Yo, man.
tell us what's going on, man. This COVID is going something, man. We got variants coming up everywhere. No longer it is a regular American COVID-19. This is a UK variant
Yes, sir.
that's actually taking over now. Tell us about what's going on.
Dr. Paul, I'm gonna go in my basement and hide. Maybe I won't get it down there. It's just crazy. Stuff is everywhere, man. Let me give you the rundown from my favorite website. That is ncov2019.live. That's ncov2019.live. As of 4 minutes ago, guys, total confirmation of cases around the world: 136,467,948. That's total confirmed cases, guys. Total critical cases: 102,862. All right. Total deceased, creeping, 2,945,771. Total active cases, everyone: 26,953,191. Here we go, Big Mike. Give me my drum roll. Give me my drum roll, buddy. Yes, always. Bam! 109,673,791. Dr. Paul, tell us.
Hey, man, you know what I say? These people need to be celebrated. I keep telling them.
Yeah.
I keep putting that out there. If you know someone has gone through this, we have a lot of listeners that are probably on the line now. We got a lot of folks that have been diagnosed with COVID, but they came out of it, man. They came out of it. So, Big B, you said again, 100, was that out of 136?
109 million. 109,673,731 recovered.
Wow.
Dr. Paul, that's the best mental health there is right now.
Yeah,
For everybody.
Yep, absolutely. And also, how many were altogether diagnosed that you have?
Diagnosed, let's see, let me see, the total confirmed cases were 136 million. 467,948. So of that, 109,673,731 total recovery.
Wow. They're to be celebrated. So I would
Certainly.
say, family, if you know someone, give them a call just to shout out, say,
Yes.
congratulations. You need to be congratulated because, and then, also stay on the path of good health. Now
Yes.
to do the things that you're supposed to do. Stay away from the bad things. Do the best thing you can do to keep your health in mind, that your immune system is the only thing you can bank on. And, I say that because there's some stuff in the news going on, Big B. Tell us about that J&J vaccine, man, that was having a problem with the other day. What was going on?
Hold on a second. The J&J, that's the COVID one, right?
Yes.
Okay, guys, here we go. COVID vaccination site closes early after adverse reactions to Johnson & Johnson shot. That was as of the 7th of April, right? Okay, let me go down here, guys. Take a look at what it says. Officials did not disclose the type of reaction suffered by less than 1% of the more than 1,700 people given shots by Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City. That's in Denver, Colorado, right? No, but it does say that 13 people. Okay, let me.
13 people? Was it 13 people altogether?
Wait. Of course, it refuses. There we go. It didn't want to scroll there for a second. Okay, here we go. The vaccination was, okay, here we go. The vaccination effort was being sponsored by the state and Censure Health. More than 600 people with appointments Wednesday were unable to receive their vaccination after the early closure. All right? Now, we followed our protocols and an abundance of caution made the decision in partnership with the state to pause operations for the remainder of the day, Censure Health officials said in a statement obtained by the newspaper. Now, people with appointments who are turned away will be rescheduled to receive their shots at a different site on today. So that's kind of where we are with it, and that's up in Colorado, guys.
That was in Colorado, right?
Colorado,
right. Because what was happening is there were people getting adverse reactions, and a lot of people are having this thing that's called clotting that's going on. AstraZeneca overseas, over in Europe, they had to halt it totally because of clotting issues. You know, we talk about many times this thing where the blood starts to clot, and then they're having problems because people are having clotting issues. But, you know, some people already, Big B, having clotting issues, you know, having situations where ankle swelling, lymphedema, things like that, already clotting issues or have a pre-existing condition already. So we got to, you know, make sure we keep an eye on that one, because that's the one that's going to be happening. I know they had to lower the production now that they're not going to be bringing out as many, you know, so I want to talk today about a very interesting topic, because that's what I'm seeing more of also, clotting. People are clotting. Why are you clotting? What's happening with the clotting has everything to talk about going back to vitamin D.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you know they're actually doing there's studies that are being shown that, you know, the strongest link of nutritional deficiency dealing with COVID-19 goes back to vitamin D. So I know there's another article I shot over to you.
Yes, I
and
that
that is dealing with vitamin D levels. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, okay. The topic, guys, here we go. Vitamin D levels tied to COVID-19 risk for Black people, but no association noted amongst white adults. But here we go. Among Blacks with vitamin D levels below 40, is that nanograms? Risk of testing positive for COVID-19 was more than twice that of those levels of 40 nanograms or milliliters or greater, according to a single-center retrospective cohort study. Now, compared to levels of 40 nanograms or greater, a positive test results for the COVID-19 was associated with vitamin D levels below 20 nanograms or milliliters, incidence ratio 2.5 or 95%. So, you know, there's a lot of little things here that But then it goes on to say, however, no significant association between vitamin D levels and COVID-19 risk were noted for white individuals, so they needed from the Journal of American Medical Association, right? The new results tell us that having vitamin D levels above those normally considered sufficient is associated with get this, guys, with decreased risk of testing positive for COVID-19, at least in Black individuals.
Right. What they're seeing is that they were looking at, and this came from the JAMA Network Open, the medical journal, and it was saying that, you know, they were tying a lot of the studies were showing vitamin D deficiencies in most Black people who were tested with COVID-19. So what is the vitamin D? People have heard us talk about vitamin D, and you may even been someone who said, you know, you got your results back, and they say, well, your vitamin D is low. And then you say, well, what do I have to do? What is vitamin D? What makes it, you know, a necessity to my body, and what does my body do with this? So we're going to go in today and talk about this thing called vitamin D, because vitamin D is such a essential that we need, and we don't get a lot of it just because of where we live. Did you know that Big B, they're talking about globally, there's about 1 billion people on the planet that are suffering from vitamin D deficiencies or insufficiencies, which means they're getting it but not getting enough. So what is it that's happening with the vitamin D? Well, some of the things that people don't really realize what vitamin D does. You know, vitamin D is very essential. It's a nutrient for glands, It's absorption for utilization of minerals, your bones and teeth. Matter of fact, it's vital for growth, muscles, heart, thyroid, normal blood clotting. Wow.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So it's for the basically for your body to do normal clotting. There's a normal form of clotting that you need, of course. That's when you cut yourself that it would normally clot. But some people's blood is just too thick, and it's to the point where it's actually stopping what's called endothelial, which is the lining vessel of the arteries and veins, and therefore when it pushes, its clotting can't push, and then we have those who have endothelial dysfunctions. Right. And that's what we test with the RM3A. So I want to go into some of the things that vitamin D and how you can get the best vitamin D. So people will say, well, wait a minute, you know, what is associated with some of the diseases associated with that? How about schizophrenia? Wow. How about major depressive disorders? How about neurodegenerative disorders? So that's dealing with all the stress and the factors that we're dealing with just thinking about COVID.
Yes, indeed.
Wow. Wow. How about respiratory infections?
Wow.
How about sepsis? How about tuberculosis, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, allergic diseases? How about asthma, wheezing disorders? All of this stuff, I'm going down the list. Autoimmune deficiencies, things like MS, even in things like where skin pigmentation, when we say black, this white spots on the skin, vitiligo has a lot to do with
that was the stuff like that Michael Jackson had, right?
Absolutely. Vitamin D deficiency. He stayed in all the time. He never went outside.
That's true. That's quite true.
Wow. You remember he was hiding, always had a mask on. He was running around.
Exactly.
Never got enough. And that could be very much what caused the issue with Michael Jackson. But also it's dealing with muscle pains, muscle weaknesses. When back in the day when children got this thing called rickets, you remember rickets?
I remember that, yes.
You remember rickets, right? And sometimes the bones got real soft. And, and they start to, sometimes they'll bow. The children with the bow, you can get real bowed legs like that. That's some kind of a rickets.
Right.
Yeah? But also, we can even tie it in research and study has gone into the different types of cancers that it has, which is means like breast cancer, colon, prostate cancer, osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, but also skin diseases. It's all about the vitamin D. It's all about the vitamin D, man. That's like the king of all of these nutrients that the body needs and receptors to keep it going. Also, skin diseases. So any sort of skin issues, the issues with epidural issue, when you're dealing with issues with eczema, psoriasis, like that, different things that are going on. But it also helps in the proper balance of liver function. So that's dealing with absolutely people saying I'm tired all the time.
Yes.
If I get another one, Big B, that says, hey, you know what? I'm tired all the time. Doc, I go to bed tired. I wake up tired. I don't know what's going on. What's happening when I'm tired all the time? Has everything to do with the liver function and its ability to process this vitamin D, right? Renal failure, which means going into dealing with your kidneys. Got it?
Okay.
Obesity. Not being able to digest your food properly has everything to do with vitamin D. And then your ability, what we call, we say the assimilation process, which is basically that cycle between 7 p.m. and 4 a.m. We're having what's called the circadian rhythm. That cycle, right, it's called your assimilation cycle. And a lot of people are issues right in that cycle.
Yes.
There's a lack of vitamin D. But guess what some of the causes are? Sometimes, we're just in the wrong high latitude. We're in the wrong part of the world.
Can I go? Can I go somewhere else?
Wrong part of the world. And then sometimes you may be in, of course, the winter. We talk about the winter, all the times that we in the winter time, and air pollution, Also sunscreen. Believe it or not, some of the sunscreen is stopping you from getting your vitamin D.
Man, that's true. I know that's true.
We about to
Found
start
that out
something.
by accident.
Yeah. But listen, we're going to go into it deeper. We got to take a quick break. This is Dr. Paul and Bill 1L Morgan. This is the Green Hour. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Recovery starts with a call. Pennsylvania's Substance Use Disorder Hotline is staffed by real people who are trained to help. They're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They'll get you or your loved one into treatment regardless of your access to insurance. If you or someone you know is suffering from addiction, call 1-800-662-HELP. Recovery starts with a call.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
You probably heard it before, but one of the best ways to stay safe from COVID is by avoiding crowds. That's better. Also, when you're out in public, make sure you stay 6 feet away from strangers or people you don't live with. It's okay to say, "Can I have some space, please?"
Well, it's going to be a beautiful sunny day today, and we can expect much.
If you're gonna have a get-together with friends and family, have it outside. And remember to keep those 6 feet of social distance. And last but not least, wear a mask that covers your nose and mouth with no gaps. They slow the spread of COVID or new forms of the virus called variants. And make sure you get your vaccine when it's your turn. We're all out here trying our best, and it's making a difference. We just gotta keep it up. We can do this.
To learn more about slowing the spread, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Pollock Herbs and Vitamin Center, 5925 North Broad Street, open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This week's special, 20% off, Saturday, April 10th through Friday, April 16th. This week's special, Iris Sea Moss, 60 capsules, North American Herb and Spice, Elder Cleanse, 8 ounces, raw organic Irish sea moss powder, 8 ounces. That's right, yours, but you got to say the key word. I listen to WURD and the Dr. Paul Show or the Green Hour, and you got it. They also carry yours truly, Dr. Paul's Green Drink, Colon Cleanse, and Eliminator, and Dr. Willard's Water. Pollock Herbs and Vitamin Center, 215-549-4372, 215-549-4372.
Black Broads Abroad is a new show hosted by yours truly, Felina Jean. I've been an expat for over a decade, living across 4 continents, 6 countries, with travel to over 40 places in between. My show will feature spotlight interviews of compelling Black women who have also said peace out to the divided states and are thriving abroad. From Iceland to Istanbul, Madagascar to Mogadishu, and a host of other countries. Tune in every second Sunday of the month from 5 to 6 p.m.
You're listening to The Green Hour, exclusively on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Black Talk Media.
And we are back. This is Dr. Paul and Bill 1L Morgan. This is The Green Hour, and today we're going into vitamin D. You've heard about this so big time, B, that you say, wait a minute, everybody's talking about vitamin D deficiency, and everyone that brings in their, their reports, they say, everybody say, I'm vitamin D deficient. But you remember we talk about, every year I talk about the blackout zone. That blackout zone that I talk about every year. And that's before COVID even started. We talk about the blackout zone. That blackout zone means that you're getting low to no light at all. And that's the fall and the winter months. Usually that time starts at the end of October, goes into about the second, third week in April. So that's right where we are right now. We're around April 11th today. So we're just starting to come out of this dark zone that we get low light, or we say low spectrum light. Yes. When you're closer to the equator, you're going to get more of a different type of a blue lighting. It's a blue light that's a different spectrum of light. You get the full spectrum of light, which actually activates things that are going on in your neurotransmitters and those parts of the body that fires off, that now gets your pineal gland and your pituitary and the hypothalamus. We call that the grand triangle. Get that thing moving. But when you don't have that spectrum of light, now you can't absorb the energy from the rays of light so that your body convert that to energy. Remember, who's the greatest converters? We are the greatest converters, right? But when you don't have that energy to convert, then your body starts to shut down. It's losing the light of the body. You're losing the light. That's why the sun is so, so important, family. Get out and get some of that. We're coming out of that blackout zone right now. So probably about another week or two, we're coming out of it. So get more sun, but most importantly, get the vitamin D. You know, some people will say, well, I got the vitamin D, but I don't know which kind of vitamin D. I don't even know how to take it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to take it. Matter of fact, what if I don't want to take it like a supplement? Maybe I want the food. So let's go into all of that. B, we're going to open up the lines for the family. And we want to hear from you also, some of your concerns. Maybe you're taking the vitamin D. Maybe you have something that you can contribute to the conversation today. Give them the information on how they can call in. And we're going to open up the lines today. Can you do that for me?
I certainly can, guys. As a matter of fact, well, you hit it right on the head because there were some folk who had already put in some questions about exactly what you just brought up, okay? So for those of you that are in our local calling area, guys, you can reach us right here at 215-634-8065. The locally, again, it's 215-634-8065. If you're out of the calling area, you reach us right here at 1-866-361-0900. Again, it's 866-361-0900. WRD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, Black Talk Media, for right here in Philadelphia.
All right, all right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. The sun's out.
Okay.
B, you're out in the sun. You got the sun. All right? Sun beams down on you. Grabs it in from that pineal gland. You just absorbing the sun. Matter of fact, if everybody just close your eyes, and if you just close your eyes and think about the number one place you've always been, they say it was the greatest time you ever had in your entire life. Everybody there? Close your eyes real quick. Everybody, close your eyes. You there, B?
Yes, sir, buddy.
And when you close your eyes, think about the place, open your eyes. My question to you, where you in the sun?
Yes.
Everybody was on the beach, you know.
Yes, sir.
Or somewhere in Costa Rica, somewhere in the Bahamas, somewhere. But guess what? That's the whole point. The sun has this ability to regenerate your body. It makes you feel instantly awake and alive. That's because it's energy from the sun. You know, there's a what we call a conversion factor that happens when the sun beams down, hits the skin, turns into what's called cholecalciferol. You know, and that cholecalciferol converts it to vitamin D. And then that vitamin D, which is made in your liver, spreads it out throughout the entire body. And all throughout your body, you got these things called vitamin D receptors.
Yes.
And they receive all of that. They're like, you know, we always talk about how the melanin has a chemical key to life, but those vitamin D receptors at the end have a little melanin. So basically they do is they distribute to all of the muscles and the bones, the joints, the ligaments, all over the entire body.
Right.
And then that converts into neurotransmitters. So now you're functioning on all ends. That's part of what's giving your autonomic system its ability to function. Sleep motor skills, cognitive functions. You know, we talk about getting into that deep REM sleep that nobody seems like I can't sleep at all.
I know, right?
Hey, I get you. Guess what? Your vitamin D is probably low. So check vitamin D. It's also for the repairing process. See, when you don't get that deep sleep, you can't repair the system. And that means you can't repair your system. You have to get what's called uninterrupted sleep. That means when you go to bed, it should be dark. When you wake up, it should be light. Most people getting up 3-4 times in the middle of the night, that's what the problem is. You can't get in the deep sleep. You know, you go into that deep REM sleep, it's like a temporary paralysis. That's when you see people's eyes sort of jerking around. If you ever see somebody sleep and their eyes are moving like, and then they kind of like still, that means their body's in a state of repairing. They're in that deep sleep, and the body says, shut it all down. And we're going to shut it all down so we can start this repairing function. You got it? So that's why when we start to do this, you got to have a proper amount of vitamin D in the body. And that's why when they're doing these research and studies I think that was, what was that, Southern California on that particular study, said that, hey, you know what, we're tying a lot of this COVID issues with those, that are being diagnosed with COVID has a lot to do with the vitamin D. Everybody's malnutrition. You got it? So we're going to go into that and talk about it a little bit further. We got a couple of callers on the line. We got Rick from Germany. Rick?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, good
afternoon. I wanted to ask you about the other two vaccine besides the Johnson & Johnson. Could you name the other two?
You're talking about Pfizer and Moderna.
Okay.
That's available here. You're in Germany, right, Rick?
Yes, sir. Are they giving people a choice, or are they just saying first come, first serve, take what we have?
Well, that's what people are just choosing. They're letting people know what's available at each location, so the person has the choice whether based on the location that's distributing.
Okay. Thank you, man.
Okay. Take care now.
All right.
All right. We got John on the line. John? Is that John?
Good afternoon, Dr. Paul.
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Work family. I'm going to start with you need 2 hours on Saturday, 2 hours on Sunday.
I
have a list of questions, but I'm only going to give you one today since you're talking about vitamin D. I asked my pharmacist about a stronger version. My doctor's prescribing was it 5,000 IUs, and I heard you say that we should stick to 10 since we're not getting much sun. 10,000 IUs a day. Well, when I asked my pharmacist about a stronger version, he was saying that vitamin D is fat soluble. And I said, well, what's that mean? He said it means that it's hard to detox. So I was wondering if that's true. What should we do to detox?
Yeah, I hear what he's saying. It used to be that, but that was long before the strong deficiency that most people have. Usually you'll have numbers that monitor to tell you if you're going above that. And very many, not a lot of people, especially when you're talking about the months of a cold months and then dealing with COVID right now where people are staying in, you're going to see too many people over top of that number, which is that their numbers are above the normal ranges for vitamin D. But here's the thing. You have vitamin D2 and D3. Got it? Now, D2, listen up, y'all. Write this down. D2 primarily comes from plant-based. That's called ergocalciferol, is what they call ergocalciferol. I'm sorry. Ergocalciferol is vitamin D, D2, which comes from plant-based. That's the difference, which means that the liver has to do a different conversion. Now, vitamin D3, usually in most cases when you buy it in the store, comes from lanolin. And if you know what lanolin comes from, that comes from sheep.
Sheep, yes.
Got it? That's the sheep wool. Because the sheep actually creates that sort of texture that protects the sheep all throughout the different stages of the temperature changes all throughout the year. So that's why they take a little bit of the lanolin from there. And then they add some things. They'll add things from essential oils. So they'll take things like medium-chain triglycerides. See, when you add oils and acids together, that's the biggest and greatest form that creates the absorption rate for vitamin D. You got it? So that's why when you buy probably the higher versions of vitamin D3, when you buy vitamin D3, usually it probably has some form of what they call the cholecalciferol, which actually comes from lanolin, but it's always added with some additional oils or acids. That's what boosts it up. So 5,000 is what we say for summer, spring and summer. And then 10,000 is for fall and winter. Now, keep in mind, John, here we are. the whole year, most people have not been out as much as normal because of the COVID. So that's why we were saying that, you know, people need to get more vitamin D because of the fact that we've been so sedated. We've been put inside, and most people haven't received that much. Plus, you're in the wrong part of the world.
I know that's right.
In the northern hemisphere, which means that we're not getting a lot of sunlight. So I would believe that, yes, that used to be the norm, but times have changed. And the time that has changed has now happened where people need more vitamin D. But to ever be sure, just check. You got to keep yourself tested. You can do the testing yourself. Now, there's vitamin D3 comes in liquid. Okay, so there's liquid forms. Not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul, family. Comes in liquid form, which there's a liquid form that's 5,000 per tablespoon. And then there's also one with drops. You can actually use drops. There's one that's 5,000 per drop. And you can best believe if it's drops, it's very concentrated. That means they're adding a lot more. It's very potent. That means they're using more of that cholecalciferol, and they're using more additives like the medium chain triglycerides. So that's the difference right there. But yes, I would say just get vitamin D right now.
Okay, Doc. Thank you very much.
All right, my brother. Thank you, man. And Big B, that's a big one right there. I was actually trying to grab mine right here and just to see if I can get it. Yeah, it's got the medium chain triglycerides. Well, people don't know what medium chain triglycerides are. That means it's a medium chain. There's medium chain and there's long chain triglycerides. That's what actually is used to help to drag, so like a drag net pulls all the sludge and pollutants out of the body. It helps the body to do that. That's why long chain triglycerides is something like the sea moss. That's why a lot of the sea moss has a lot of that. Also, medium chain triglycerides comes in like coconut oil. You know, like the coconut oil where they were showing the effects of medium chain triglycerides with those with Alzheimer's and dementia things, and how the effects of taking the coconut oil with MCT. Medium chain triglycerides help that person. So that actually makes it different. But yes, we are having a problem. We are living in the wrong part of the world, Big B.
I keep telling you, I'm going to move. You watch out.
Yes. We got Brother Yusef on the line. Brother Yusef?
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, yesterday I was listening to your show, and the lady called in and asked you were you going to take the vaccine. And I thought about that for a while. Let's see. Now, anybody that's been listening to you brothers over the years that you've been on this station knows that you're holistic health, and you're not going to go against the grain. You're not going to do the things that you say you don't do and that you don't want other people to do. And people will try to find fault and try to make you out of a hypocrite and say, oh, see, he's taking the vaccine, but yet he rails against it. He says prevention. You are about prevention. If anybody that's been listening to you as long as I have since you've been on this station, you're about
I know, bro. I just said it about
vaccination.
Exactly. And you know what? That's okay. You know, I say, well, maybe she wasn't a regular listener, you know, but, you know, that's okay. You know, I try to meet folks at where they are, you know, and not only that, but, you know, brother, you said people receive things in different ways and at different levels, you know, and then, you know, people, we were laughing this week, you know, and we were talking about how you'll say something maybe, you know, we were on the family tree and we got to say it like 3 or 4 times.
Man, police.
Before they come back and say, oh, I got it now. The light came on. Like, okay, I got it now.
Yes.
See, sometimes this way we process information comes in different ways. Sometimes when people hear you, they feel you before they hear you.
Yeah, that's
why you got to understand. Some people will feel your energy before they actually it actually puts it together, and then the show will go off, and they'll call up and say, "I got it now," and they'll call in. So that's cool. I believe you, brother. I hear you, man. Thank you, Yusef. I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, that's it. You know, and he was
so right on time with that, you know.
Absolutely. All right. So, you know that you got vitamin D, you got vitamin D2, you got vitamin D3. Now, remember, vitamin D2 comes from those places where you can get, you know, vitamin D2 is like mushrooms. A lot of the mushrooms have vitamin D. There are some sea vegetables also that have it. So there's, you know, anything that's usually grown they'll do things like extra added things like growing under UV lighting and things like that, which actually they try to enhance it some. I don't totally recommend that. I think the greatest source is just natural.
Yes, yes.
Mushroom is exposure to light is going to do this best thing. So I want to go into some foods now that I recommend that have that. Before that, we're going to go to Imani. Imani on the line?
How you doing, Doc? How you and your staff and WURD? How are you all doing?
We're doing good. How you doing over there?
Praise the Lord, I'm much better. I am praying, continuing that we all seek good counsel around us, like Proverbs say. And because, I told you I lost 150 pounds, and
Go ahead. Go ahead now.
I gained 30 back.
You
but,
can be celebrated. Mike, get some hand claps over there, man.
That's right. That's what's up. Yeah.
I cannot see my toes, but now it's all coming together. Maybe in the future put together a show where you could talk about what's going to strengthen the colon, because I had a baby and I never strengthened my colon, and I heard a doctor say that extra like blubber is like a tumor and it takes away the vitamins and minerals that you need to go to your organs. So I got that bike thing, it's a exercise bike, and I'm trying to strengthen my colon, get my core together. And so
thank
you so much. And
sis, you're doing it. You're doing it. That's what I'm saying. You're making an effort. You're doing it. That's it.
Thank you so much, because this has been a struggle, but thank you. We got to keep on claiming it. And 3 questions is the chia seeds, omega-3s, is that vitamin C?
Chia seeds?
It's supposed to be high in the omega-3s, the chia seeds.
Yeah, absolutely. Chia seeds are very, very nutritious. Good roughage also for keeping the colon cleansed. But also, that's one of those things that we add to a lot of the green drinks in the morning, or smoothies. Gives it consistency and give it a roughage. You don't even need much of the chia seeds. They're very nutritious and very good for digestion. You can just do like 1 or 2 tablespoons in your, depends on how much, of course, you're putting in. But I would say for every 12 ounces, you only need about 2 tablespoons because it doesn't take a lot. Chia seeds are very, very nutritious for the body. That goes in with flax seeds, that same line of flax seeds and things like that give it the good roughage, because that's giving when you have poor digestion issues. That's what chia seeds are good for.
And the macro, because I was buying not fish oil. Fish oil, you could take that to build up the vitamin C, but cod liver oil, but it's so expensive. Cause how about macro?
Well, yeah, if you're looking for, because a lot of people get vitamin D out of fish also. That's the one where they get the sake, salmon, things like that. That's where a lot of people buy the sake for, But of course, remember, I've been telling everybody you got to watch now the salmon coming in because of what's happening with the genetic modifications, their genome is mixing it with eels and all kind of crazy stuff. So I tell folks, if you want to get that omega, get the high omega, get the sea buckthorn. Not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, this food for the soul. Sea buckthorn. Got it? That's a better form. That's a better form of omega. So you can get it from sea buckthorn, which is actually like a berry, but you can actually get it because it grows high in the mountains. But you can also get hemp seed is also good. Hemp seed. So you can add hemp seed, which is another one just like chia seeds. Excellent for morning smoothies. Got it? All that stuff is good. Matter of fact, hemp seed has more protein than meats, which it should be, because it actually has more protein than a lot of foods, because it's one of the largest protein builders of plant-based that you can buy that's land. Got it? So that's why it's very, very, very good. I definitely acknowledge that big time. So sea buckthorn or hemp seed if you're looking for an omega instead, because some people are having problems. They're hearing a lot of things about the about the fish oils, which they're having a lot of contamination issues. So you just got to be careful. The safe way is to always go to the herbs. That's why the herbs are the meat of the earth. You can't corrupt all these herbs. There's millions of them. So that's why it's always a good alternative. Got it?
And I want to congratulate you because love is a verb. And I congratulate you for being a man of honor and your wife a woman of honor. And I support you because the doctors, they don't tell us, because I used to have varicose veins real bad, but they're all going away. You know, you gotta work the whole body, that core, and that you know, you gotta lift that colon. You know, so
That's right.
I congratulate you and keep doing a good job. You know, WRD, because somebody needs to be a voice of reason out here in the chaos.
Yeah, thank you so much, my listeners. And you are,
You're
thank you so much for your kind words. I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. God bless.
Yes. Yeah, Big B, did you hear? She lost 150 pounds.
Man,
Hello.
I gotta go run behind him. Maybe I can lose that.
Bill, you better get behind him, man.
I'm old head.
She says, I'm still on here.
That's all right. We don't mind you being on it. I'm going to follow you up down the street.
Throw it up. Let's get some.
I'm still here. Y'all talking about me. Yes. Yes, you doing good, sis.
The best
Keep
thing to
up
do
the
is
good
look
work.
right in front of you. That's the best thing in the world.
That's right. That's right. All right. So here we go. Here's, family, some foods and herbs that you can get vitamin D. Okay, get some good vitamin D. Did you know dandelion greens?
Again, for real?
Dandelion greens.
I'm
Yeah,
looking at some in my yard right now.
Some you eat something tonight? I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Dandelion greens, man. Dandelion greens, man.
Y'all. God bless y'all. Goodbye.
Mike still didn't take up your phone. Where's Mike? He taking a break. Where you at, Mike? Mike, where's
I
Mike?
thought y'all still talking to him. My bad.
Okay.
See, dandelion greens is excellent vitamin D source. Get out of here. Ergosterols, that's what they call them. Ergosterols. You know, keeps the body in its normal function. Good for growth, muscle, thyroid support. You know, women having hypothyroidism. Guess what? Going back to dandelion greens. Lettuce, you know, a lot of good lettuce, a lot of green leafy vegetables. You know, sweet potatoes. Get out of here. Sweet potatoes.
Yes, sir. Love me some sweet potatoes, boy.
That's why you like that sweet potato pie. I know you do. Say, I'm going to get me some vitamin D right after the show. Sweet potato
I'll finish
pie.
the show first.
Another one that's high. Now, these are just high. There's a lot of fruits and vegetables that have them, but this is the highest. This is the highest. Sweet potatoes, watercress.
Okay.
Watercress. How about that? Watercress. Also, fruits would be apricots.
Okay.
Apples. Peaches. Mangoes. Papayas. You know, that's why papaya is so good for your digestive system.
Yes,
Remember,
yes.
I was mentioning one of the deficiencies is IBS, issues with digestion system, has a lot to do with deficiencies of vitamin D. So it brings vitamin D back to the digestive system, gets it moving again. Star fruit. Figs and dates. They're also good. You got, of course, the bananas and the plantains. Now, some people watch the bananas. Yeah, you're doing a lot of spraying with the bananas. But plantains, yeah. I mentioned the sweet potatoes, but also let's not forget about the yams also.
Yes.
Okay. Red cherries. Okay. If you can find the blue grapes with seeds, those are good.
I'm glad you said that with seeds, because everybody thinks that seeds is the way to go.
That's right. And I'm also going to give you a few more. Let me give you some herbs would be alfalfa.
Okay.
Alfalfa. Very good for vitamin D.
Okay.
Okay. Horsetail. That's used in, that's why horsetail is so good for the thyroid. We use horsetail for things like hair, skin, and nails. And you'll see that in a lot of formulas for hair growth. But it's also very strong with vitamin D. Okay? And I'm going to give you 2 more herbs. Nettle.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one will be parsley.
Okay.
Got me?
Okay.
All right. And those are the 2 right there, man. That's it. We got a lot of good stuff on there, man. So you can see where all of the different foods, you got herbs and foods that have those. Now, some of the other ones that are really strong that help to regulate what we saw the pineal gland would be things like black cohosh. And this is why it's good for things with the liver. This is also for the liver, black cohosh. This is not, of course, again, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. I'm just giving you the different things that can give you the balance that you need. Black cohosh. Lobelia. 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 My favorite, burdock root. And I'll give you one last one. That's eye bright, which you'll find in a lot of eye formulas. All vitamin D greatness, man. Great stuff for the eye.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir.
That Big B. I mean, Big B, you got so many people are having these issues and don't know why. They say, oh, I'm getting all these, and you know what? Goes back to those receptors again, man. You know, when it hits, the sun hits you, the cold calciferol flips it to vitamin D right in the liver, and then the vitamin D receptors push it off to all the different parts of the body. Next thing you know, you got it all, man. You got it all right there.
Wow.
All right, Big B, Mike is giving me 5 minutes, man.
He goes again under the table.
He's under the table. He's
we just got here, Mike. We just got here, Mike.
He's sliding right in on you, man. You gotta watch it, man.
Boy.
Time flies, y'all. Time flies.
You know, right?
Hey, I want to thank those that called in. We had a great show today, and we went into vitamin D. Get some vitamin D. If everybody listening to the show right now, go get some vitamin D. Make it a point, because definitely they're looking at that as the #1 cause for a lot of the issues that those diagnosed with COVID-19 have vitamin D deficiency. So go get some vitamin D. And remember what your numbers are. Remember what your numbers are, okay? All right, family. We want to thank you for calling in, those that called in. Great questions today, Big B, and great testimonies, too. We had a sister in here that lost all that weight. Go ahead, girl. You doing your thing.
I'm going to start to follow around so I can get that 152. I get it all. That's great.
All right. This is Dr. Ball. If you want to give me a call, it's 215-779-7355. That's 215-779-7355. Or you can call 1-877-377-2854. That's again 1-877-377-2854. We are still doing the RM3A 10% off prepay special. Come on in. We'll set up a plan for you, get you going and get you rocking and rolling. You can also go to my website at www.drpaulurge.com. Sign up, family. Join our Wednesday family tree. Big B, we knocking it out the park with that family tree on Wednesday evenings.
That's exactly right.
Join us. Put your name and your email address, and we'll send you a personalized email, and you'll get all the add-in information, how to log in for our Zoom on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Also, I want to give a shout-out to my wife, Big B. I mean, she's got the Comma Sailor group that invites those empowering Zoom dances they have. There's a brother that's dancing. He's saying his name is Musa Cooper. This is for the children, y'all. Every Saturday afternoon from 12 to 1. They're having a great time, man. I was watching it this week. I said, oh, man, these children are having a great time. More information about that, 215-900-1044. That's 215-900-1044. All right, I want to thank our producers, Michael Ledbetter and Laura Lomax, and our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax-Reese, and the entire Lomax family. Hey, Miss Beverly, how you doing?
All right, yes.
Thank you so much for allowing us to have this space and time that we can do and talk the way we want and to do to the things that we need to talk about, Big B. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Mike Moore, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
And Big B, how you doing, man? Hey, man, thank you so much for all that you do, brother, and giving us those updates on that COVID, man. And I'll see you on Wednesday night.
Yes, sir.
Right. And remember, be encouraged, because if you're breathing,
you got a shot. God bless you.